Now we are live, although sometimes it starts recording in reverse, so we might have already been live before I even pressed go live. That's weird, right?
Yeah, that's weird.
Now we're officially live. Just our icon though.
Well, it's still us. We're still live right now.
How do they know we're really here? I know what
I,
my excuse is. Hey everybody on YouTube. Hey podcast, because now I'm stealing the audio for the podcast from the YouTube stream. So that's good. Hello, podcast. Jolena is here, hasn't been with me for, gosh, almost a week.
that's a weird way to phrase that we didn't do a show because you canceled on me.
Did you feel like I let you down? I told you the reason, right?
Right. But it's like, I don't know if that's a real reason.
Wow, what happened? Well, I'm trying to think. What was the last? Was it the in-law reason or the Palm Springs reason?
This was the in law reason, which was
Oh yeah,
very sketchy and suspicious because your in laws were coming in from the UK and they were supposed to arrive the day the Queen died,
right. And
but
they
they
were
didn't.
stuck. They were stuck in the UK, but they were actually coming from a different place. But they had to fly through the UK on the day the Queen died. Yeah. What are you saying? That was suspicious?
Yeah, it's just, that's a weird coincidence.
Did you like to have a conspiracy theory about it?
Well, I don't know. Like, where were they flying from? Are they spies? Did they kill the queen? Just questions like that.
They live, I wonder how much I can reveal. Like, I hate to dox myself. I can't even, don't even want people to know my birthday because of doxing. So I don't give out my birthday because I don't want people to dox you, because I know that if people have your name and your birth date, that they can do like record searches on you. But I don't even have anything in my records, so it doesn't really matter. But still, for those reasons, like, I'm conscientious about it.
You've
So
said your
that I was
birthday
going
on
to
the
say,
stream.
so I could say, and then the other thing is nobody knows who Katie Stoltman really is. That's the other thing. I've managed to maintain it that way. You notice she never appeared on camera, right? During the live
Hmm.
streams.
Yeah. Was
And nobody knows what her name used to be. So Katie Stoltman is like a mysterious character still, and we've managed to keep it that way.
was that
So,
her idea or your idea or both?
well, you know how it is. She got canceled from PayPal just for being married to me. So, never know what might happen. But yeah, that's kind of by design. That way people can't stalk her the way they stalked me. That's all.
Makes sense.
Yeah, but they're let me see what I can say. Yeah, they came in from Cyprus. They came in from Cyprus, which is a weird place. Which
Yeah.
is like, did you know it's occupied? It's like illegally occupied land where they're from. Supposedly, at least the UN says so, by Turkey.
Yeah, that's like a place a spy would be.
Yeah. So, okay, right. That's the other thing about revealing personal information, is people use it against you. Like, my dad worked for the government, so people know that. And then they say, when they're trying to discredit me, they say my dad worked for the FBI and stuff.
Hmm.
But really, so I don't think they're spies, but now people will probably say that because of what you're saying.
I know, but in defense of you and your associates, it's really true. Like, once you start creating content online, any little thing about you can get twisted and turned into like, oh, see, clearly this is a compromised person and they're an asset or whatever. When it's just like normal everyday shit, everyone has like a relative in the federal government. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, not everybody, but yes, I know what you mean about things being twisted and used against you. Yeah, that's why I stopped. That's why, yeah, I should never talk about myself personally at
People love
all.
it though. People like that kind of thing.
Yeah, but then they do use it, your enemies and stuff. But I don't have as many enemies. Now my only enemy is the N-word guy, the guy that calls into my show and just says the N-word. What's up with him? I thought he was gone for good.
I noticed he called in when I wasn't on air, which I kind of respected.
Yeah, so for people who don't know, because I'm broadcasting on YouTube more, by the way. Oh, and let me put up the sign. This YouTube broadcast is brought to you by buymeacoffee.com. Basically, you can support the show because we're demonetized on YouTube, but we found a new way to monetize, which is because people can go to buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil and donate to the show, and then I will read it on the show. And I have some left over from the last show to read. So,
all right.
Yeah. So that's working out well. That was like good advice. Is it because you're a millennial that you know about that?
No.
Okay. It's just that I'm slow, right?
No. I just watch a lot of streamers.
Mm.
I watch a lot of people who stream. And Buy Me a Coffee is just a fun way to support streamers, you know? People don't like giving people $5, but they'll buy a coffee that's worth that much because it's like a cute little token of appreciation.
It's like a mind trick, basically.
Well, yeah, it is.
Let's be serious, because people could donate on DLive, for example, but the denomination for donations is $1.20. That's what a diamond is. So people just donate a diamond, and then it's like, oh yeah, I gave a few diamonds during the show, not realizing that after they withdraw their portion and stuff, you made like a couple bucks. But Buy Me a Coffee is like, oh, $5 is the baseline. So then you're like, oh, well, I can't just buy one coffee.
Yeah, it's great marketing.
Yeah. All right. We're leveraging technology on this show to bring you this show. So yes, if you'd like to, and somebody told me to drop the link. If somebody's mod and I think JJ sometimes drops a link to it. And then we also still sell t-shirts at truthclothing.io. And I'm contractually obligated to split. What is our split? 75-25, right? You thought that was fair.
We have never discussed the split, actually.
That's by design. No, we don't have a contract, but theoretically, whatever you give me, I have to share with Jelena. So,
but you can also contractually obligated. I have not been paid, just so everyone is listening. I have not been paid at all for any of the contributions I've made to this show yet. Nathan has tried to give me Ethereum. I don't want Ethereum. So we're at an impasse.
Yeah. I was like, I don't want to send you real money. Well, because I get paid in fake money too. That's the problem. See, now with Buy Me a Coffee, they actually put real money in my bank account. But with Rockfin, for example, people tip and it turns into cryptocurrency. So it's not like, so for me to actually turn it into actual money and give it to you would be challenging. So that's why I said I can turn it into USDC and give it to you that way.
Yeah. And I said no.
Yeah, you said that sounded ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. USDC.
It's money.
I can't.
It's the same as dollars. I mean, it's got to be. No. Yeah, that's all right. Are you? What do they call the people like you? Like troglodytes? No,
troglodytes.
There's some other derogatory term.
Oh, racist. What is that? What?
There's some other derogatory term for people who just don't get with it. Like you're not with the technology of the blockchain, really.
No, I mean I don't vibe with it. It doesn't appeal to me.
Yeah, you're not autistic though.
Well, I don't know. Can you take a test?
You can take a test. Yeah. I took one. I took one live on the show. Somebody said, oh, that helped me learn. Somebody emailed me and said, oh, that helped me learn about my child who I didn't realize was autistic.
Yeah, I might need to take a test because there are definitely autistic things about me.
Which ones? So I can tell you.
The antisocial ones.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, one thing is if you have, so I can say specifically, it's like you have trouble making small talk, let's say.
Well, I it's not that I have trouble making small talk, I just go directly into, like, deep talk. Like, I
Hmm.
don't do casual conversations.
Okay, okay. Here's another test. Might you talk about something that you're really interested in and go on about it would not realizing that the people who you're with are actually bored by what you're saying. Does that ever happen?
When I was younger, but I don't do that now,
Okay.
no.
Well, yeah, everybody does that when they're a kid, though.
Right.
Yeah, so that's like an autistic trait. I don't really have that trait so much, but I like to, but I feel very uncomfortable making small talk, like in a way where I feel physically uncomfortable. You know what I mean?
You get, like, itchy?
Yeah, yeah. Like I'm
Yeah.
like, oh God, I got to get out of here.
I start, like,
So I have
twitching
that
kind of.
issue.
Yeah.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, oh shit. Can we talk about? I just think, can we talk about something I'm interested in? I just hope. Oh, I hope we can talk about something that I'm interested in.
Right. And
But maybe
chances of that
that's
are
maybe
slim.
that's maybe that's narcissistic or something too. I'm not sure.
Well, everyone's narcissistic, what does that even mean?
Some of the traits about of autism are kind of like you're a jerk. Like you don't make eye contact with people. You're not good at making small talk with people. You only want to talk about things that you're interested in. Things like that. They're just not very social.
I will tune out of a conversation if it's not interesting.
Yeah.
I'll just, like, walk out of the room.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Well, that's it's possible. I could give you some more testing.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to think. What about eye contact? That's one. Like I don't make eye contact with people.
No, I'm pretty good at that.
Yeah, yeah. So that's weird. They apparently Thomas, I was just seeing this. Thomas the Tank Engine, they made an autistic character.
Like
They
an
made an
autistic
autistic.
train?
Yeah, it's a caboose though. Yeah, and I noticed, yeah. I watched some of the video of it. I was like, "Well, how do you know it's autistic?" Because actually, there are a lot of people who are autistic. You don't necessarily know. I mean, Elon Musk, yeah, right? You kind of realize there's something wrong with him. But yeah, the train character doesn't make eye contact.
I mean, that's cool representation.
Its eyes are like darting around all the time, like it's looking all over the place. Have you ever seen Love on the Spectrum?
Yes, I have.
Oh, I should have mentioned that when somebody asked me if there was something on Netflix to watch. Yeah, Love on the Spectrum is good.
Yeah,
What? What?
it's a fine show, yeah.
No, seriously. Why don't you just say what you really think? What's your problem with it?
I don't have a problem with it, I just don't like watching people in, like, exploitive ways
Oh
that feel
yeah, yeah.
exploitive.
There's a show on YouTube that my wife watches, and I feel that way about this show. It's called like, oh, I don't know what it's called. It's not called Under the Veil or Revealed or I don't know what it's called, but the person interviews like really weird people who might be living on the street, who might be drug addicts, people who are actively drug addicts, for example, talking to them about their drug addiction and then how horrible their life is and stuff like that. And sometimes I think, and it's a big channel, and I think, I wonder if they're being exploited really, because I wonder how much they're really making for it. And
Right.
and whether they're because it does feel that way sometimes. Like Howard Stern, you're not old enough to have listened to Howard Stern growing up,
No.
but he used to have on, you know, challenged people and kind of make fun of them, basically. But they were characters on his show, even though their lives were miserable. They were like huge characters on his show, and he's like a bazillionaire, right? He kind of exploited other people.
Yeah, I don't like to laugh at people, like, regardless of how pure-hearted maybe it's like, "Oh, no, we're laughing with them, like, it's cute, their evolution or whatever." It's like, I don't
Right.
know, something about it feels sketchy to me, I don't like it.
Mhm. Mhm. Even if they consent to being laughed at, if they're like, "Oh, I know I'm a dwarf, but you can
Right.
throw me around like I want you." You know what I mean? Sometimes you're not allowed to say dwarf, but little people, some of them like being thrown around.
Yeah, and, if you want it, do it, get the coin, all that. But
Mhm.
I'm not gonna watch it probably.
You're not. Okay, that's cool. That you're a very, sensitive person, maybe.
I am. I'm highly
Yeah.
sensitive.
Yeah, me too. Very sensitive. Yeah, that's why I had trouble doing cold calls because 'cause I'm very sensitive.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I'm sensitive to working too hard.
It's really annoying to talk to people, like, in a work setting, like, whether you're trying to get a sale to close or you're just talking to, like, a colleague in whatever department, it's draining. I have to, like, take a break after every call I do.
Yeah, you're an introvert.
Probably.
Yeah, so you need breaks to be by yourself. Like, you recharge your batteries by being alone. Is that correct?
That's a way to put it, yeah. I do like
Yeah.
my alone time, I need that.
Yeah, you're an introvert. Extroverts get energy from being around other people, but introverts don't. I'm like, I'm right in the middle. I'm in between being an introvert and being an extrovert.
Yeah, I don't know how much I don't really relate to the title of introvert, but I definitely understand the energy thing. Like, I need my space to recharge and recalibrate.
Yes, yeah, that's a characteristic of an introvert. You're an introverted person, I think. Do you want to talk about news today?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you really, or do you want to just talk about other stuff? What do you think people what do you think people tune in for?
I think people tune in to hear what's on your mind, you know?
What's on my mind or what's on our minds? Because you're on the show now too.
I think people tune in to hear what's on our minds. Don't have to overthink it. What's on your mind? I know
Yeah.
Trump is on your mind today. You texted me about that.
No, I was really excited. Well, for one thing, I am really excited that I used an AI generated picture, original artwork for the thumbnail for this stream. So I did generate, I asked for AI artwork of Donald Trump dying in the hospital. And that's what I got. And I was going to title the stream Donald Trump Near Death. I was going to call the stream Donald Trump Near Death. Well, I can't remember the entire thing, at Walter Reed Hospital or something. Sources say. That's what I was going to
Mhm.
say. Donald Trump near death at Walter Reed Hospital, sources say. And it would be an ironic take on fake news, basically,
Kind
which
of
is
fake news.
kind of fake news. Yeah. I look at it like the way I looked at that headline is, and the reason I didn't go with it in the end is because it's been categorically debunked. Like, they figured out why he went to Washington, D.C., Donald Trump. So, just in case, Donald Trump went to Washington, D.C. Some people on Twitter, as far as I can tell, some people on Twitter, including one person who says they're like a true, I'll show you, said that he went to Walter Reed and he was in bad shape. And so I didn't think that was probably true, but I figured, oh, okay, some people are saying it on Twitter. Then I can make that the title of my video. Say Donald Trump near death at
Yeah,
Walter Reed Hospital, sources say. But then I saw that he was photographed in a golf cart and he's golfing, so I couldn't go with that. So I just had to write, was Donald Trump rushed to Walter Reed Hospital? It's kind of boring.
I know. You were really disappointed that he wasn't in the hospital.
Well, I looked at, have you ever play poker?
No.
Oh, I look at it like bluffing is that you can sometimes when you bluff in poker, you you don't have a good hand, right? You don't have a good hand, but if the right card comes next, then you would have a good hand. So you're bluffing as if you already have a good hand, but really you don't. And the chances of you getting the best hand are really, really slim. So that's how I looked at this headline. I was like, well, it might be true.
Yeah.
you know,
It's just a fucked up thing to be that I mean, it's a great analogy, but, like, also, considering the subject matter, it's pretty fucked up.
why? What do you mean it's fucked up?
Like because your bet hinges on there being nothing that refutes the claim that he is deadly ill, Like, you're like, "Oh, I hope that we can maintain this mystique." that he's dead or dying for long enough for me to go live on YouTube with a crazy title. I get it. But it is fucked up.
Well, I just look at, the news. I think about some of my most popular videos ever. And sometimes I would use like, oh, this one guy would make crazy claims, that there was going to be martial law or something, or Trump was going to do something. And so I would just take whatever this person's crazy claim was, and then I'd use it as the title for my video, and then get a bunch of people watching, and you just say the thing, basically, just like I was going to do with this title. Donald Trump near death, sources say.
It's a real like pervasive content strategy on YouTube. Like whether it's
That's the
news
thing.
or astrology, like all of the different niches are like, let me just say a crazy claim and be really confident about it or really speculative about it and string everyone along.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true that the more speculative and the more out there your claim can be, and with some confidence, and then just light evidence or even fake evidence,
Right.
you can do a really good job with those kind of videos. Those videos go viral.
Because now everything gets memory hold so quickly anyway, even if your evidence was totally fake, there's no way to like prove it retrospectively. It's just like,
Yeah.
oh, like, well, maybe they were right about it, but we don't know because the tweets got deleted. I'm like, okay, well, fuck. Who
Yeah,
knows?
exactly. So I'll talk about the news then. Sure. So anyway, for people who tuned in for that speculation, I have that article headline on the screen. It says Walter Reed responds to Donald Trump health speculation. He showed up in DC. Apparently, people said looking disheveled and wearing golf clothes. That's what they said. And then, like this person, this is so funny. I can't believe you said you. I was going to talk to you about your Twitter. Or
Oh,
you're
right.
deleting
Because you were
Twitter.
like, part of you telling me, because I had no idea that Trump was in DC or that there were rumors he was in a hospital. And you were like, see, this is why you shouldn't delete Twitter from your phone.
Right.
And then an hour later, it was like, never mind.
Never mind.
So I
All
still
right,
went on
here.
that.
So this person, so I was going to say sources say, right? And this is the source. Kirby Summers, author, historian, true crime. And this is the author of several books who tweeted this. Donald Trump arrived unannounced and unexpected to DC last night with disheveled hair and golf shoes. He is at Walter Reed National Military Hospital. This is not the first time he was rushed to the hospital. This is like a rando tweet. It only has 110 likes.
That's the magic of Twitter. Like, this is how the news cycles start.
And then this person says Donald Trump spent the night at Walter Reed Hospital. So, according to a historian, self-proclaimed historian, that's why people start writing PhD, MD after their names and stuff, right? You're like, how are people going to take me seriously?
Yeah, it's going to come to a point where you're going to need some sort of license in order to tweet certain things.
That's what I've thought. I've thought about that a lot myself. Like, what do I write in my Twitter bio so people take me seriously? I always think to myself, like, people should take me seriously. Like, I'm good enough. I'm smart enough. Like, my opinion matters, but I don't have any titles to add to my name, and I don't have anything I can use for bragging rights exactly.
Could get certified in something.
Yeah. So I told you, I was like, oh, maybe I'll join Mensa.
Oh, right. But isn't it like a $300 test or something?
I don't know. Whatever. I guess that's the only reason I can think of for wanting to hang out with a bunch of nerds, It's like, oh yeah, then you can say, oh, I'm in Mensa. I'm a genius.
Yeah. I don't know if that would help with your audience though, right?
I
Like,
don't
oh,
know.
he's in Mensa.
Yeah, right. Then they say, oh, what does that mean?
Right. Like, that's one step away from a Freemason lodge. Like, I don't trust this guy.
Yeah, what can you do about people though? All right. So anyway, that was the news. Anyway, this person, Kirby Summers, author, historian, true crime, said he went to, it still says it. So this is fake. I don't know if it's fake news or not. I mean, it says it definitively.
I just wanna know, like, I need a picture of disheveled hair and golf shoes arriving in DC because that's, like, weird.
Yeah, there was a picture of him getting off a plane, but it's not. You can't see it very closely. So yeah, there's no picture. I did use the AI though for. The AI made a funny picture of him.
I really hate it.
Really?
Yeah, because it feels like some sort of witchcraft, you know? You're, like,
Right.
putting an intention into the machine world.
Yeah, yeah, right, right, right. This is what I want AI for, is for it to make pictures, because I had that other thing. I wanted to have Jared Kushner as a Mossad spy, but one of the AIs won't let you do images of famous people for just that exact reason.
Huh.
Because I was thinking of doing like Hillary Clinton eating a baby, you know?
Just for artistic purposes?
Well, or for evidence purposes,
Right.
you know?
To get an
Like
idea
like
of what you're looking for.
but I don't think you're allowed to do that with certain AI. But yeah, I'm playing around with it more and more. But we were able to use this one. I think it's Donald Trump dying in the hospital is the image that we used. And it's pretty interesting.
I don't know, man.
But you
If
could
he
consider it like voodoo.
It is, yeah, I do. Some sort of voodoo. I don't know if it works, but it definitely has the vibe of voodoo.
It was just 9/11, right?
Yeah, yesterday.
Did you do anything to commemorate the event?
Usually I do, but this last 9/11, I didn't. I didn't do anything.
It was kind of inconvenient for it to be on a Sunday,
Right. Yeah.
right? Because that's normally the day you want to take off.
Yeah. I'm not trying to watch my normal conspiracy documentaries that day or anything like that, which is what I usually do.
There were some good memes, though. There were memes that said, there was a good meme, and I'll describe it. I won't even show it because I don't have it, but also people listen on the podcast, so they like word pictures, word pictures. It said, never forget, and then it shows building 1 and 2, and then it says, forget building 7.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So that was a meme that was out there. Never forget. People say never forget. And there was another never forget meme where it was like, never forget the people that died on 9/11, but forget about all the people killed in Iraq and Afghanistan. And
That's also apt, yeah.
do you remember? Do you know? Okay, so this is weird. 9/11. I believe. Okay, this is a weird thing about numbers I got into. 9/11 is 111 days before the end of the year, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna look into this. Um, how do I run a search? Especially, I'm holding my microphone in one hand.
I can go to timeanddate.com.
How many days? Hold on. How many days from the end of the year is 9/11? I'm asking.
Here's what I found.
No, this doesn't say. Can
Okay,
you
I
find
just did it manually, and from 9/11 to December 31st is 111 days.
Yeah, it's 111 days. Okay, so I was thinking about the mystical characteristics of the date 9/11 and the significance of dates. And then because there's 9/11 and then there's also 420, right? 420 is 110 days into the year, but it's 111 days into the year on a leap year.
Okay.
And then, right? So 9/11 is 111 days from the end of the year, and that's a weird date when weird stuff happens. And then 420 is a weird date, mystical date, that when weird stuff happens. And sometimes it's 111 days from the beginning of the year. And
Mhm.
then in between is 144 days if you have a leap year. 144, and then that's
Oh.
weird because 144 is like the 144,000, 12 times 12. And then so I was thinking about the dates, and then I was thinking weird stuff happens on 9/11. And so it would have been weird if Trump died on 9/11 or if he even went to the hospital, because other things have happened before on 9/11 too. Like, remember when Hillary Clinton collapsed into a
Ah,
van?
that was during the election, right? In 2016
Yeah.
or 2015?
Yep. Yep. 2016. Hillary, September 11th, 2016, the anniversary of Benghazi.
Oh, right.
Hillary Clinton collapsed into a van. Here's a picture of it. Here's the video of it, which was amazing at the time. I remember. So here's the video that was captured by some person of Hillary Clinton standing there. There's another angle of this, but it is like, there. Watch. Can you see it?
It's freezing for me. Oh, wait. No, I do. The wobble wobble. Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah. So she collapsed. I thought she was going to die for sure. So
Well,
that's one thing. The Hillary Clinton health scare. That's one thing where they said it was like a conspiracy theory. Remember at the
I
time?
do. Yeah, there's lots of
She was
gaslighting going on.
she was coughing, and there was a video of her with some kind of cough drops inside her water that everybody speculated about.
The body doubles.
People speculated that it was a body double that came out, right?
There was at least one body double I remember seeing pictures of. They did like side by side comparisons, and they were like,
The
"This isn't
one that
Hillary."
the one that came out and greeted the child. Do you remember that one?
I
People
think
said
so.
that was a body double for sure.
Yeah,
So do you think that was fake news that she had a health scare, or do you think, like, she recovered somehow from? Because
I
I
don't
thought for
know.
sure she was just going to die
Yeah,
at
I
the
think
time.
most of these people are so like spiritually decrepit that like of course their bodies fail them often. I don't know. I don't know if it's a health scare or if it's just like the demon trying to wiggle its way back into its form inside of her. Like it is what it is. I don't know. It was
Do you
weird though.
think? Do you think that elites? Like, are you allowed? Are you really not allowed to talk about adrenochrome, or they'll ban you? Some people say that, right? Like, you can't talk about adrenochrome. You have to talk about it in code. But do you think she's taking adrenochrome?
If that's something that's available to her, totally, probably.
Would you take it if you had access to it? Or is
No,
that what you're saying? Oh.
I would not.
Oh, okay. So you're saying, I
Would you take it?
mean, um, didn't he take it in, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas?
Hunter S. Thompson?
Yeah.
That's what we're basing off.
Well, Johnny Depp.
Oh, Johnny Depp, even better.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Didn't he take it? He took a I think I remember reading the book or something where they took somebody's adrenal gland actually, and then so maybe it's a little different than adrenochrome. But no, would I have it? I don't know. I don't think so. Not if you have to kill somebody for it. That's what they have to do, right? You have to scare somebody really bad and then kill them and take their blood.
Something like that, allegedly,
Yeah.
has
Yeah,
to
I've heard of
occur.
that. I've
Yeah.
heard of that happening. That's crazy.
Yeah, no thanks.
So yeah, 9/11. There is something about. I feel like there is something significant to the date. Something to do with the numbers for one thing, and then just something about it. Like, things happen, weird things happen. Maybe there's a. I think sometimes I think to myself there are certain dates where it's possible to get away with things more.
Like the purge?
Whatever, like whatever it is. Like, let's say you have to fool a bunch of people. Maybe there are some days where it's easier to pull it off.
Oh, totally. Yeah, when you have a Mercury-Neptune conjunction, probably, that would help.
Astrologic. Oh, really? Yeah. So that's what I was thinking, was astrologically maybe. It would have to do with the sun, I guess, because that's the only thing our calendar follows.
Well, the public calendar, yeah, but these guys know the astrology.
The
They do
secret
things.
calendars.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who do you think? So you're way into astronomy and stuff. How do you keep track of time?
Like everyone else at the moment, because 'cause I'm
With
still
just the
plugged in.
regular calendar?
Yeah. Yeah, because 'cause I'm
Do
still
you
plugged into
think
the matrix for a lot of my life. So, like,
Right,
I can't
which
live
is
in the woods
unfortunate.
barefoot and, like, use a sundial yet, but
Right. Would you use a different kind of do you think calendars that keep track of the moon are more um, correct?
I mean, it's just another tool to keep track of time. I try to keep track of where the moon is and what sign it is and what fullness it's at
Mhm.
because it correlates with my emotional state. Like, I get very emotional around full moons,
Oh,
and
really?
usually I start my period around a full moon.
Oh,
So
God.
you have to it's
Yeah.
true, it's a thing women
So
deal with.
stay away from so it's good to, like, stay away from you near the full moon,
Well,
basically.
I wouldn't no, that's rude. Look,
Oh,
we all have
that is
everyone
rude.
has cycles, okay? And women
Right.
especially, I have found in my personal experience with friends and relatives that women are very connected to the cycles of the moon, whether or
I
not
see.
they're menstruating or not. Like, emotional ups and downs, feelings are very connected to it.
Okay. Yeah, I think it makes sense to follow the moon. I like calendars that do that, like the Jewish calendar and the Chinese calendar.
Yeah, a lot of the
Keep
ancient,
track of the
like
moon more
yeah,
important than
the Eastern religions and countries are
okay.
good at that.
Right. 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 Exactly. But then your birth date is a little different every year.
What do you mean?
Well, because if you're born on a date in a lunar solar calendar, then it's different the next year on the solar
Oh,
calendar, you know?
right. Yeah.
So when you think about it, Jesus's birthday, for example, it doesn't even make sense. Like December 25th, they didn't even have December 25th. Like
Yeah.
it would be a different day every year because you're a certain day of a month, but the month starts with the moon. So it's going to be different every year.
Yeah. And I don't think
But
Jesus was born in Christmas time.
no, they just made that up because of other sun gods, because that's when the sun is reborn. It's
Right.
December 25th.
It's the resurrection.
The resurrection of the sun, which dies for 3 days or whatever. Yeah, I know. Do you believe in Jesus?
That's a loaded question.
Do you believe that he came back from the dead and rose in full body and everything straight to heaven?
That's a loaded question.
Okay, all right.
I'm
You don't have
still
to answer. I'm just curious.
yeah, I'm still unpacking it myself. I
Yes,
love Jesus, though. I love Christ
yes,
consciousness. I love God. And I do
yes,
believe that you can choose salvation through trusting God in the process.
yes. Have you found salvation?
Yeah,
Oh, good. Yeah, I love Jesus too. He said a lot of really good things that are helpful.
definitely did.
Yeah. But I don't know if it's possible to die and come back to life. That's the only thing I'm not sure about.
I don't rule it out.
Well, I think he survived and then died a natural death later.
Yeah, you're gonna have to make like a deep dive on that because you've said that a few times, but I've never
Yeah,
looked
I've
into
looked
it
into it.
myself.
Yeah, there's some documentaries about it and stuff. The BBC did a documentary about it. It's really interesting. It's really interesting. You'll have to look into it. I can't tell you any more right now.
Fair enough.
Do you want to talk? Okay, so we talked a little bit about 9/11. We talked about the news with Donald Trump. You do you have any thoughts about the Queen? Because everybody's talking about the Queen dying.
My main thoughts are I was not expecting Black Twitter to be so vicious with the memes after she died, like,
Oh,
literally minutes later.
oh, really? Black Twitter, huh? Reacted with lots of memes.
Yeah, well, specifically, like, Caribbean island Twitter and, like, former English colony Twitter, Black people.
Right, right, right. Sure. Yeah. I did you see what I just put up on the screen?
I won't cry over the death of a violent oppressor. Carnegie Mellon professor slams queen again. Oh, doubling down. Cult of white
Yeah.
womanhood.
Yeah, that's where I went to school, was Carnegie Mellon, so I thought I'd share that. But people are talking about it. Now, see, I don't mind the criticism. Some people do. Like my wife likes the Queen, I think. She's British. So she grew up, being under the Queen. And but I don't mind people being critical if they feel like it.
I think it's I mean, it's funny, right? For me, though, I don't know. What is there to say about the royal family, you know?
Yeah, I
Fuck.
mean, they're just a joke anyway, right?
I don't know if they're a joke. I don't know if
They're
they're
not,
death
they don't
cult.
even do anything.
I know that they're fake English people. So,
Yeah, because they're actually German originally.
right. Yeah.
Right. Right.
Like, it doesn't even make any sense.
Right.
But I can't, I mean, my overall feeling, though, it feels like the queen has been removed from like the chessboard of the game that we're in. And it's just another pillar that's collapsed that is showing us where we are when it comes to the state of Western civilization. Like, they're
Because
taking away all the things.
you think Western civilization is collapsing.
Well, it is.
Right.
The way that we've been living for the past few hundred years is going to be gone much sooner than people may think.
The way we've been living for the right. So I have to talk to you about this. I feel like I have to have a serious conversation with you. Because you do think the world is ending, kind of, right?
It's shifting in a way that's going to be unrecognizable to people. Yeah, it's not ending,
Oh,
but I think that we're going into a completely different paradigm.
right. Yeah, I wonder. I'm familiar with that kind of thinking. Like, I feel like I've had that kind of thinking before, and then nothing really changed. So then maybe I've changed my way of thinking, and now I would just challenge you and just say, maybe nothing ever changes, ever, and it's always the same.
Well, this is why
What do
we
you think
have to
about
have
that?
like a formal bet about what happens within the next decade, like within this decade.
Yeah, so I'd have to. So it is really crazy to talk about making a bet that pays in 10 years
Let's make
or
it 8
even 8
years.
years,
Yeah,
right?
let's use
So
the 2030
2030.
number.
Okay. So if we wanted to make a bet for 2030, first of all, we'd have to choose the currency because, you know, you could bet $1,000 and in 2030 that might just be worthless,
I
right?
don't really want money though. It's more about like who was right. Like I want that kind of moral banner.
Okay. All right. I wonder if there's a way we can like at least memorialize it on the blockchain or something. There are ways you can make bets. There are ways to create
Oh,
markets for bets.
interesting.
Yeah. So somebody will have to create the market, but I say nothing ever changes. It's always the same. That's
Okay.
my
Yeah, and I say the opposite of that.
right. Right. So we're very different that way. I
But
think
give
it's
it
going to be the same bullshit. And it doesn't matter who gets elected.
I
It's
mean, I don't
always
think we're gonna have like elections like we have had them
right. I
for
know
very
you
much
think that.
longer.
Right. Right. You don't even believe people are going to be elected anymore. I think they will. I mean, why would things change so drastically?
Well, here's why I don't like questions like that because they've already changed drastically. Like, did we have an election in 2020?
I mean, kind of.
Kind of, yeah. That's not like a great stamp for our democratic republic, though, when we
Yeah,
kind
but
of
do
had
you
an
really
election.
think, I mean, what do you really think about 2020? Do you think it was really stolen for sure?
I think that there's no way Joe Biden got 81 million people to vote for him.
So you do think then it was rigged, not just because I can agree for 100% that it was rigged in the sense that, for example, the Hunter Biden story was buried. So you can say 100% it was rigged because the media rigged it and social media rigged it so that people's people would, so people didn't have access to all the information that they needed to make an appropriate decision. So I agree that it was definitely rigged that way. but I don't know for a fact that 81 million people didn't vote for Joe Biden. I just don't know. But I wagered on it too, so that was the problem. Is I got paid based on that outcome.
Did you watch 2000 Mules?
I watched no because I didn't want to pay for it. But
Oh,
I watched the clip. I watched the highlights of it. Did you watch the whole thing?
I did.
Okay, so what's your impression?
I think it's a compelling case for how they could have physically forged a bunch of votes in a bunch of key places.
Yeah, right.
And just using the
So
evidence
it's
that they were
possible,
able to
yeah.
gather, like, yeah, I think that our election system is totally flimsy.
Hmm.
Clearly, because they are campaigning in some places to not even need ID in order to vote. So,
Yeah, the whole ID thing is kind of ridiculous. You don't need ID in California.
yeah. So, how are we supposed to have elections where the citizens, are making an impact and participating if you don't have to
Yeah.
prove that you're a citizen?
Yeah. Good question. Yeah, I feel like elections aren't perfect no matter what. But given that Republicans, that people say it's the Democrats rigging it, right?
Yeah, some people say that.
Mostly people say that. Given that Republicans have been winning elections and stuff, though, see, I just don't know. I don't know how rigged the elections are, and I don't even know if mail-in ballots. People say they use mail-in ballots to steal the election. I don't know if I I don't know if they're worse. It's more convenient to be able to mail in your ballot, so it makes it easier to vote. I like it being easy to vote.
Well, that's like what 2000 Mules was showing is people dropping off all these bags of like mail-in votes
Right.
in the middle of the
Right. That
night.
was the problem. Right. Right. Yeah, I agree that that's problematic. But I also think voting should be easy. That's the other thing. So I have a little problem with some of the voting restrictions. So I think it should be easy to vote because you know that there are some people that are too old to stand in line and stuff and for hours, and sometimes that's what it takes to vote, which I think is ridiculous. I don't think anybody should have to wait for hours to vote.
I've heard that being said, but I've never seen that like actually play out.
Oh, I've seen lines out there.
But there's like an option to avoid the line, isn't there?
Not always, not in all communities.
Like not early voting or mail-in voting or whatever other things, loopholes they
Yeah,
make.
but then you're talking about mail-in voting, right? So, which people say
Right.
is wrong.
Well, it's the easiest. You're talking about the easiest. I don't necessarily think that it should be easy to vote. Uh,
Yeah,
but
see,
again,
I
these
guess
are the
that's the different.
conversations though that are going to be had. Like I don't think that the way that we currently operate our government is going to sustain itself for much longer because it doesn't make sense and no one has
Like there's
confidence
I've
in it.
seen an art. I see what you're saying, but I'm saying that it will sustain itself much longer
Right.
than you
Right.
think. Even though things are going to be really bad, we're going to go through and we're going to have like an economic crisis. I still think our form of government will basically last because that's kind of just generally what happens.
Well, it's normalcy bias too. Like it has been what's happened, but everything
Mm,
also ends. And that's my argument is that we're close to the end now of this experiment and we're going to move into a different one.
interesting. Yeah, maybe you're right. And so in that case, the queen dying is a sign of the end coming.
Yeah, when we get a new signpost every day, but the queen dying is definitely a big one. That's like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
that's done.
But then it's just going to be Charles. Charles isn't that much different. I don't know.
I don't know. He's already been getting bad PR. So,
Yeah, I had a video of him getting bad PR. I don't know if I even want to show it. It's people showed a video saying he's not being respectful of other people. Did you see that video?
where he like shoos someone away or like tries to wave his hand
Yeah,
in a
yeah,
condescending rich
yeah,
guy manner. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. You have a problem with that?
I mean, it's gross optics. The only problem I
Mhm.
have with it is that I can easily imagine how much of an asshole he is when there aren't cameras everywhere.
Right.
But it,
Yeah,
you know,
I feel like if you're rich, that you deserve to be able to just order people around sometimes.
But why is he rich? You know what I mean? Like, he didn't do anything
No, I
except
know.
incarnate into this bloodline.
And then he gets to inherit his money without any inheritance tax, which is
It's
great, which I think is the way it should be. But here he is waving somebody off with his stuff, which I don't think it's that bad. He's just like, oh, get out of the way. Little person who's not important. I don't think it's that bad. That's my read on it.
But look at his wife in the background, though. She looks like Joe Biden, like anxious and like, oh no, what is he doing? This is
Mm-hmm.
embarrassing.
Yeah,
Jeez, I
I
hope the
mean
cameras aren't picking this up.
the whole charade is ridiculous. I mean, I do find celebrity to be ridiculous just in general. And basically it's just celebrity being a royal. And I think, and then the way they have to put on all these displays and things, and they all have to dress a certain way. And I just think it's ridiculous.
It's gross. I don't like it. I don't know if it's
Yeah.
just celebrity. I think that there might be something, an undercurrent there, like they're figureheads of some gross thing. But yeah, I don't give a fuck really. I think it's funny though. I didn't realize how many English people were like in the whole monarch program where they are like
Yes.
actually sad and depressed about the queen dying.
Yeah. Yeah. Like Katie doesn't like people talking shit about the queen right now.
Yeah.
She feels like, the queen dying is sad.
She's
So
96.
that's what I thought. I was like, really, it should just be a celebration. Like, oh, great. She lasted 96 years. She was great. Let's move on. But instead, it's this, oh, tragedy. Let's talk about it. It's literally on the news every day. It's on, they're showing her coffin going places. I'm just thinking, God.
It's really gross.
It's like if she had been 21 years old or something, died unexpectedly, then I think,
Yeah.
oh, okay, well, that's tragic.
Yeah, like a 30-something-year-old
She lives.
soccer player with myocarditis,
Yeah,
That's tragic.
yeah, that's tragic. Or yeah, or when Djokovic can't play in the U.S. Open, that's tragic.
Right. This bitch got to sit on a throne for 70 years and not do anything important. I know that's controversial. Fuck it. I don't get it.
Yeah,
I think as an
I don't know what
American,
they're allowed.
yeah.
What were you
I
gonna
think as
say?
an
Sorry, I cut
American,
you
just
off.
as an American too, like I have like a doubling down where I have like negative sympathy for people who are upset about the queen dying. Like fuck your queen. Fuck all your
Right,
shit. Get over it. Why do you even have
right,
that, pussies? That's my attitude about
right,
it.
right. I hear you. Yeah, I mean that's fair. As an obnoxious American.
Right.
All right, what
1776.
I put in the title for this video, pigs eating plastic. I think that's what I put as the second title. So did
Ew.
you hear about pigs eating plastic?
No.
Oh, wow. You have to know this. Do you eat any pork?
Not from the grocery store.
Okay. Well, this is a video. It says a TikToker exposed how plastics are getting into pig feed. So now I'm going to show you the video of them feeding plastic to pigs, apparently. I'll show the video. Let's see. Oh, I have to describe it. They're showing trash being dumped. And then
stuff like this. Just put it here. Plastic and all. Don't even matter. Plastic, cardboard boxes, pallets, everything's grounded into this right here. They send this stuff off to be eaten by the hogs, and then the hogs are killed, and then we eat them. I felt like I had to tell the world.
Y'all believe me now.
Go up the line to that big shit called the grinder. It grinds it out and turns it into that. And then the hog eats it. This is what it looked like when it's done. I took the videos and I was like, I've never seen nothing like this. This can't be like legal.
And then they go into how it is legal. It's called garbage feeding. And it's legal in 27 states, including California and Texas and Florida. But they say it's not legal necessarily to include packaging from food waste, but they are including that. They include plastics in the list of substances.
I told you guys.
Shout out to all my followers. I love you guys. But let's
that are legal. So it says it's in the list of substances that are legal to feed to pigs and stuff. So
Yeah, Project Veritas needs more big black whistleblowers.
yeah,
That guy's hilarious. That's a vibe.
yeah. Project Veritas got some other video, which I have. Since you brought up Project Veritas, but I wanted to tell people to be careful about eating pigs. Because they have plastic in them, and you're going to be full of microplastics.
It's probably safe to assume that any meat you're getting from like a grocery store is going to have some shit in it that you don't want to be eating. So I would recommend people find local farmers and really source their shit, because this is how it's going down.
Or raise your own pigs, I guess.
Yeah, but that takes a lot of money and time.
Yeah, but that's the only way you're really going to know.
Just find a farmer. There's so many farmers, you know?
Okay, let me read my Buy Me a Coffees. Let's see if they're new. Jim from Baltimore bought 3 coffees. Spaldo bought a coffee. And then I had some coffees left over from the last show. So one person said, darn, I missed it. You're doing a great job. Thank you. That's the zoo. Tabitha 333 said, say hi to Katie, and I hope she will come back as a guest sometime. Best wishes from Minneapolis. I read to Katie your message, and she may come back one day. Jean bought a coffee, says, still listening. Good day, mate, from Australia. Karen says, listening from the UK. Glad you've given up on cold calling. It sounded so depressing. It was. And then Jim from Baltimore and Spaldo. And if you want to support us, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil and buy coffee, and then I read it on the show. Did you want to see, since you brought up Project Veritas, did you want to see this last clip?
Yes.
Project Veritas. Somebody talking about going after white people, I think. BLM in the classroom, etc. Let me play that.
I want to be a Project Veritas spy.
Yeah, you could do it, but you'd have to go on dates with people, Well, it's like catfishing.
That's true.
I mean, it really is. They just go on dates with people.
You got to go out to the people it's not directly affected.
Yeah, if you're gonna throw a brick.
Yeah. After people that, I can actually do that change.
Yeah.
It's kind of, I think, like a good 2 months.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, how are they organized? Like, what's their purpose? My kids, we don't stand up for the parents.
Our undercover journalist met up with middle school English teacher Arian Franco.
And protest. Yeah. How did you approach us? Like, it's kind of, I think, like a good 2 months.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, how are they organized? Like, what's their purpose?
Yeah.
Like the ones that work, what did they do? Being loud.
Oh, what's that?
Being loud.
Yeah.
This is what I told my students. I was like, guys, there's strategic ways to do this. You wanna, and I brought up like crazy like organizations that have done this. Like they chose which places to throw bricks to.
Yeah.
They didn't do it to the to the black and brown community.
Yeah.
That's like doing it to our own community just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
You gotta go out to the people it's not directly affected.
Yeah. If you're gonna throw a brick.
Yeah.
Throw it.
At the people that I can actually do that change.
Yeah.
My kids, we don't stand up for the parents. I'm an ELA teacher. We break it down.
Yeah.
Every line in the board. At one point, when I first started challenging it, I had my kids change the word. I think we added at the end, and we will fight for those who this does not address.
Yeah.
Something like that. We added to it because it's a liberty and justice for all.
Yeah.
and we will fight until that is true.
And how do you think kids can fight though? Because sometimes they feel powerless to fight.
Well,
they can't vote.
The first thing is to be able to be a critical thinker.
Yeah.
Challenge your parents.
Yeah.
Challenge the adults that you meet.
Yeah.
Ask questions.
Yeah.
I used to meet people in
you say what now?
I used to kneel.
Kneel. In class?
But yeah,
would the students do it?
Yeah.
There you go.
Ain't no way this bitch was kneeling, okay?
No, right, because it would be hard to get back up. So you're trying to say you're fat shaming her? Yeah. Way to go.
You can fat
go
shame
with the
people
fat
who are
shaming.
trying to destroy the world, okay?
They were trying to destroy America through our children.
Right. People who are corrupting the youth, anything goes.
Yes, okay. So you're like, oh, that fat bitch.
Well, I didn't say that. I just said she wasn't kneeling. She's using poetic license there. She wasn't kneeling. Where would she be kneeling?
I don't know.
During the Pledge of Allegiance every morning? There's no way.
I think it's stupid to pledge allegiance to. I think it's stupid to pledge allegiance to a flag too. But I get it. Do you think it's see? That's the thing is, I am kind of a liberal in a lot of ways because I think, oh, that's dumb pledging allegiance. Like, I don't want to pledge to a fucking flag. It's stupid.
I mean, yeah, sure, maybe, but I think that it's good as like a community building exercise.
What does it mean to pledge allegiance? Like, who am I pledging allegiance to? The government, the flag. Why am I pledging allegiance to a flag? What's a flag?
I mean, these are all good questions, but whenever I hear them, I think of, well, what the fuck are they doing in China? You know what I mean? Those kids can play synchronized basketball. You know, it's terrifying. So we better have something that unites us and pulls us together. We need some kind of common purpose because they certainly do.
But what about anarchists? Anarchists don't believe that in the state at all.
When I hear anarchism, it's like communism to me. It's like, okay, well, theory, practice, what's the actual thing look like?
Right. Anarchists are idealists. Like they just think, oh, in this ideal world where everyone works together, we'll have private roads and private security. Everything will be great.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't buy it.
No immigration laws, private immigration laws.
And yeah, once you work in private corporate America, you realize that if they were in charge, we would be even in a worse place. So
I know. It's true. So are you gonna, so you said so do we want to promote you? You're at youtube.com/Jelena. Also, if people want to support you directly, since they've heard that I'm not giving you any support, they can go to jelena.net, right? And go to your link tree.
Yes, and you can buy me a coffee on there. And actually, Jim and Spaldo also bought me coffees. So thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
During this show?
During the show.
Really? Oh, wow. That's amazing. See, they knew. So then I don't have to share those donations with you then, right?
I have no comment. You don't have to pay me.
See. Right.
If I have no comment.
Okay. Well, that's fine. I'm just saying, since they already supported you also, then maybe I don't have to split it with you. All right. So we did an hour of a show. Do you have anything else you want to talk about?
I don't think so. Like I said, I deleted Twitter off my phone. I don't even know what's going on. I've learned a lot this stream. You're
going to have to get caught back up. So we're going to do a show again together on Friday, since you like me to book you in advance. Wednesday, I'm going to be out of town redelivering the in-laws to the airport. So
I'll be back. What about Tuesday and Thursday?
Oh, yeah. You want to do it tomorrow? Tomorrow, I mean, the in-laws are still here, but I can do the show tomorrow if you want.
I mean, I can't do it tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Well, so what are you asking? Thursday? Are you asking me if I can do Tuesday and Thursday? Tuesday, I might do a show tomorrow. Yeah.
Cool.
But it'll be without you, I guess. But then Wednesday, I think Wednesday and Thursday I'm off, and then I'll be back Friday.
Solid.
All right. So buy your t-shirts. Go to truthclothing.io, buy t-shirts. Go to buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil, and then I'll read your super chat. And and we got another coffee from Brian M, who says, love your guys' hearts and minds. Without camera on, your guys' banter has better flow, back and forth, casual, cool. Yeah, it is more relaxing. I have to say that.
Yeah, being on camera, like for people who don't know, it's very stressful. I don't like it. It takes a lot.
Yeah, so we don't have to. I mean, whatever. People tune in one way or the other.
That's nice. Thank you, Brian. That was a nice comment.
Thanks, Brian, for the comment. Thanks for making us feel good about not being on camera. Kevin Griffin says, good show. I like the banter more than news. Great. See, so maybe you'll join me for tomorrow.
And double C, I don't have to keep up with the news, Nathan.
Okay. Right. Okay. That's true. All right. Sounds good. All right. Well, thanks for joining me for the show. And I will maybe see everybody tomorrow, maybe, and then definitely with Jelaine on Friday. And that's what's up. So thanks, everybody. Thanks, everybody who supports the show. We appreciate it. And for now, that is what it is. Okay, I ended it on YouTube.